everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't yet, please subscribe below. That really shows me that there is interest and that y'all are getting into this and sharing it with people as you see fit. A lot of people have children with special needs, and as you know, there are 13 categories that your child could fit under. So please share as you can. All of this information is to help parents, caregivers out, to help them know what to do with their children and how to help them at home. And give you some basic information. So with that, let's start our video for today. We are talking all about the evaluation process. All right, I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but honestly, I worked for 6 years as a special education teacher. This is one of my favorite parts. I love this part. I get to meet new students. I get to work with a team, an amazing team that helps me know how I'm going to serve this child if he or she qualifies. So it's kind of exciting. Just this past year, our COVID year, from August to May, I had 48 evaluations. And this was all from 2 to 4 year olds. So evaluation is basically a parent or a caregiver brings the child into the school, and a number of people are there to meet the child and to see what's going on. Generally, when a parent brings in a child, it's because he or she sees some issues. Maybe there's some communication issues. They're not talking yet. There could be some physical issues. Maybe they had ECI, early childhood intervention, in the home. From birth to 3, a child with special needs can get help in the home if they qualify. But at 3 years old is the cutoff, and that is when they can come to ECSE if they qualify, Early Childhood Special Ed, which was previously known as PPCD, Preschool Program for Children with Disabilities. Okay, so they're always changing terms, but this is the kind of teacher I am, Early Childhood Special Ed. Services anywhere from 3 to 6 years old, 5 years old. And so yeah, we're going to talk about that today. So again, I had 48 evaluations this year. And like I said, one of my favorite parts, not all of those children qualified for me. Okay, some of them do, some of them don't. That's the purpose of an evaluation, is to see, do they qualify for specialized services within the public school system? All right, so some different people you're going to meet at an evaluation could be, this list is not exhaustive, but could be the LSSP, the Licensed Specialist in School Psychology. This is a person, again, if we have any AU or autistic tendencies, this is a person that will come to observe and to see if they are exhibiting any of those things. Another person you're going to see are your OTs, occupational therapy. They're looking at a lot of the fine motor types of things, any sensory needs your child might have. So they're the specialist when it comes to that. Another person you may see is the PT, physical therapy. And again, the PT, the OT, if you had services prior to school, they may have worked right in your home with your child before 3 years old. So physical therapist that looks more at the gross motor, the running, the jumping, the sitting, the standing, the maneuvering. Your speech teacher is another one who might be in the meeting. Most speech teachers are. At that age, from 3 to 5 years old, we usually, if we have a kid come in, they usually have a speech impairment of some sort. So we generally will almost always have a speech teacher in there. Another person is a diagnostician. This might be a new one to you. A diagnostician is generally the ones that run the IEP or the ARD meetings, and they're the ones that will also do some testing within the evaluation to see if they qualify for any of the 1 disabilities. Okay? You may also, so these are the ones you're going to see most often. So there's some over and above you may see, like vision. If your child has any vision issues, the vision teacher may come. The hearing teacher may also come if there's any deafness or hearing problems. O&M, this usually comes from the region. We don't have one of these contracted directly to the school district generally, but O&M stands for orientation and mobility. So again, that many times will go along with vision. If they can't see, they need to learn how to get around, right? O&M is there to help them with that. You'll have your special ed teacher. In some districts, the special ed teacher is able to come. In my district, thankfully, they allowed me to come and be one of the people to evaluate. And then I wanted to mention these two in particular. If the child does not, maybe the first language in the home is not English, we can have bilingual speech or bilingual diag to come in and to be able to speak Spanish to the child to see how they respond. And we're still able to evaluate even if they don't speak English. So those two can have a bilingual component. All right, so once we have everybody there, the child, the parent come in, you can see this is a kind of an intimidating group. So many times we'll see the child maybe more than once. We'll see him come in the second time, maybe with fewer people if this is too much for them. But there again, remember, these ones are not always there, okay? They're not always there. It's based on the child. But still, it's a lot of people. So the child will come in, and then as a special ed teacher, what I would generally do is I would, let me flip it this way. There we go. I would look at 3 different things when it comes to your child. If you were to bring your child to me as a special ed teacher, I look at 3 different areas. The first one is behavior. So I'm going to say, oh, does this child play well with others? I'm going to ask mom some questions. How does he do at daycare? How does he do with siblings? Does he interact? Does he play parallel or does he play with? Does he hit? Does he kick? Does he scratch when he gets upset? Again, that can be behavior. That can be under communication. So really trying to get a feel of the behavior of the child. The second one is functional. Functional is a very large area. So we're going to come back to that one. Many different components under functional. And then our last area that I would evaluate would be academic. And at that young of an age, based on the age, I'll maybe see if they can stat blocks, if they can flip pages of a book, if they're able to name their colors, identify, sorting. Sorting is huge for academics, being able to sort when you're 3, 4. So those are things that I will look into. Now, if we get rid of academic and behavioral, those are big ones, but I want to focus on functional. There are so many different things under functional that I'm looking for when you bring that child to me. Excuse me. I'm looking at speech, so functional speech. And again, it's not me in isolation, the speech teacher as well, and we're communicating the whole time we're talking. Can your child request things? Can your child say anything? Can your child follow a 2-step direction? Can he name 25 objects? Can he understand on, in, and under position words? Can he tell his name and his age? Is he intelligible? Can you understand him when he's talking? These are all things I'm looking at for speech. All right, our next area is gross and fine motor. So gross motor, is he able to run, jump, play with his peers? Is she able to move around independently? So that would be gross motor, looking at that. Fine motor, how do they do with a marker? How do they do with a crayon? Are they scribbling whole-fisted like this? Are they holding in a tripod way like this? Are they even knowing what to do if I give them this? So those are some pencil types of things that we would look at. Are they able to draw circles? If they are able to hold it, can they draw circles? Can they scribble on paper and not go onto the table? Do they have an idea of what boundaries are, staying on the paper? Yeah, and always looking at hand position. You know, at 3 years old, generally their hand dominance is not yet established. Sometimes it is. They're right-handed or they're left-handed. But sometimes that will come along later. Okay, so don't worry about that if your child has not picked up a hand yet that they're really comfortable with. That can come later. Okay, so again, that's fine motor. We're also looking at self-care. At 3 years old, I'm saying, is your child potty trained? Or is he at least attempting to go to the bathroom on his own? Okay, can he feed himself? Can he drink from an open cup? Can he wash his hands independently? Can he dress and undress himself? Okay, those are all questions I'm going to ask mom. I'm going to observe while that child is with us. Next one is sensory. Sensory is a whole video in and of itself. There's so much to learn, and I just did a great training this last year on sensory, but sensory is awesome. Sensory, do lights, fluorescent lights seem to bother them? Do certain noises, do they just freak out when they hear certain noises? There's certain textures they can't handle. How about that tag in the back? That bothers a lot of people. Socks, maybe they won't keep socks on. Do they hate water? Do they hate getting their hair washed? Do they hate it? Okay, there's a lot of sensory things that can be functional issues as well, which the OT, occupational therapist, and I will discuss to be able to help that student sensory-wise, okay? So these are the areas that I would observe for your child. So if you are a parent with a child with special needs and you have been to an eval and you've done all this, your job then is to, of course, give your input. What has helped at home? I mean, just because we're special education teachers or OT, PT, LSSP, whatever, does not mean we have all the answers. We need your input. We need to know what's worked for you and to see if we can translate those things into the school environment. We are a team. Parents, teachers, we all work together to get your child as far as we possibly can. I love my job so much, and I love working with parents that are on the same page. So that's huge. So after watching this video, do these kind of things. Look at your child and see what are the deficits they're working on at home or they're having. And then if you have your IEP, make sure that those deficits are being addressed. If he can't dress and undress himself, maybe that's a goal. Maybe within 36 instructional weeks, we're going to get him to put on those pants and that shirt. Okay, that's an important thing, right? Maybe if he's not drinking from an open cup, we're not giving him that sippy cup at home. We're saying, nope, you're going to use this open cup, okay? So we really want to keep these kids moving, growing, so they're as close to their same age peers as possible. I hope this was a good video for you. Again, give me a like if you would, subscribe to my page, and I'll see you later.